It's Monday, December 30th, 2024. It's technically the 365th day of the year. Happy New Year's, everyone. I hope that 2024 was good for you. I hope that 2025 is going to be even better. And I hope that I still have a voice in 2025. Please bear with me as I am a little bit under the weather today. You know who else is under the weather? Literally some rain and some snow up here in Maine. That's going to be exiting about the time that I get finished with this video, as we've got some mostly clear conditions filling in for everybody else. We do have some pretty dry, warm air kind of racing across the southwest over here into Arizona and Texas, and that's going to lead to a critical fire risk out here today in portions of New Mexico and Texas and a little bit of the Oklahoma border there. All right, looking even farther into the future, those winds are associated with a low pressure system that is going to start to bring up some more moisture from the south and actually mix that in with some cooler air from the north and bring about some precipitation here in the plains from Nebraska all the way over through Missouri into Illinois and Indiana. On the front side, we do expect for most of this to be rain, but back here, Iowa, for example, around Tuesday, December 31st at 4 a.m., it is very likely that this will be snow, okay? And if I push this forward a little bit farther, you can see that the snow is going to make it up there into southern Michigan as well. Some isolated showers are going to be possible in the Ohio Valley. For the most part, everybody else is going to be quiet as some cooler air kind of settles in over here in the north central United States. It's going to be really cold, for example, New Year's morning up here in the northern plains, and that cold air is not going anywhere, and just wait. We've got a lot of cold air to talk about. Lake effect snow machines turn back on in the new year here. I think January 1st through January 5th is going to be a pretty prominent lake effect snow period for you guys, especially off of Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. Some heavier snow is going to be possible in the interior northeast as well as we go into January 1st and January 2nd. Notice the overall zonal flow for the rest of us, though. It's just going to be kind of cold up north, warm down south, mostly quiet conditions for the most part on Wednesday into Thursday. We do have another little system coming over the Rockies as we go into Thursday and Friday. That might lead to some heavier rain over here in the Pacific Northwest, some snow in the higher elevations, obviously, and this is where things start to get really interesting. I've got a lot of confidence right now that by Sunday, January 5th, we're going to have a large storm system forming across the United States where we're going to have a lot of snow over here in the Intermountain West over towards the Rockies. We're going to have some snow from Canada down into Iowa once again, maybe some showers and thunderstorms in the deep south, some ice in the middle, and this is going to turn out to be a full-out snowstorm for somebody. Right now, the GFS is painting the heaviest snow to be in Iowa, northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin over here near Chicago, maybe Sunday, January 5th, but this could shift north or south a good 100 or 200 miles depending on, what the models do over the next couple of days. So don't pay too close attention to the exact placement of the precipitation here. Just know that we are going to have a big a snow system, I think, on our hands here as we go into the late weekend. That might bring about some mixed precipitation into the Appalachian Mountains, some heavy snow up here into Michigan, southern Ontario, and then, of course, that might also bring some snow into the northeast as well. And a marginal severe weather risk is going to exist in the south, as there is going to be quite a bit of warm air coming up into this. And look at all of that cold air behind it. There's going to be a big conflict in the atmosphere down here, and a lot of time that conflict is resolved through thunderstorms. So this is probably a little bit overdone, but the forecast for the next week or so as far as snow goes paints a lot of the highest totals over here in the Rockies, of course, over there towards the Cascades. There's a couple places that'll get over 3 or 4 feet of snow, mostly above 4,000 or 5,000 feet over here, but I'm really interested in this swath of snow right here. This is the weekend storm. I believe that we're going to have a large area where we see 6 or more inches of snow. Right now, the bullseye is going to be around Des Moines, but once again, this could shift north or south a couple hundred miles before all is said and done. So just keep an eye on this time frame and just know that somebody over here is going to be in Snowtown, baby. Now, one thing for sure that I do know is that the lake effect snow is going to be a big problem for us over the next couple of days. That one doesn't really change a lot based off of little differences in the models. You're going to be hearing a lot about this over the next couple of days. Guys, there is a big weather pattern shift coming. There's potentially some major cold on the way. Don't buy into the hype. It's not going to be the end of the world. It's not going to be record-setting cold as far as we know so far. All we know is that there's a really good signal that we're going to see a lobe of the polar vortex drop over the eastern half of the U.S. early next week. Wednesday, January 8th, we're going to see a huge increase in our jet stream, and this is just going to allow for an unprecedented amount of cold air, at least within the last year, to kind of just fall down into the central and eastern portions of the United States. And this definitely could bring about some significant cold for millions of people. And another thing that you'll see a lot of too is, if this actually happens, if the cold dips this far south, it's going to literally, the jet stream's going to dip down into the Gulf of Mexico. And whenever that happens, sometimes we get a very large mid-latitude cyclone and we get a big historic East Coast blizzard. That is a possibility, but there's no way that anybody knows. And anybody on TikTok or anybody that's trying to tell you that they know for sure that we're going to have a big blizzard is just filling you full of it right now, trying to make money off of your ad clicks or whatever. But just do know that we do have a really interesting weather pattern system coming up, and I'm very excited for it. I love snow, but even I, the big weather weenie YouTube weather guy that I am, I'm not going to hype up a snowstorm just yet. The only thing that I'm confident in saying is that we are going to have a major pattern shift. Like right now, most of us are warm. In fact, we're going to have record high temperatures potentially today in Texas. It's really warm up in Canada right now. And like I've been saying for weeks, whenever we get a big positive trend like this, what goes up must come down. And it's going to come down in a big way as we go into January. Our first big push of cold air is locked in here. And basically this channel below average temperatures is going to set the path for that higher quality cold air to come in behind it. Another good punch of cold air is going to come into the north, especially around Saturday and Sunday. And then the big push is going to happen once again around Wednesday, January 8th, where some places could get 40 degrees below normal, but most of us will be 10 to 20 degrees below normal during the peak of this major cold snap. And once again, there's a bunch of maps that are going to be flying around on social media saying it's going to be negative 40 degrees in Kentucky. Hey, listen, anytime we get something like this, that's a possibility, but there's no science. There's no science in predicting the weather this far out. The reason we do it on this channel is because it's literally fun. Okay, we talk about the short-term stuff. That's where we get serious and we try to save lives with our forecasts. This long-range, foozy-gazi stuff, this wishy-washy, la-la land, GFS stuff is just for fun. Keep that in mind. A lot of people get worried about these maps whenever they're shown on social media this far out. This is like looking into a crystal ball. It could change. But if you want my opinion on it, if you trust my opinion on these things, there is a strong enough of a signal here to definitely keep our eye on it. And the closer we get to the actual event, we're going to have more solid data for you. And like I said, if we get that jet stream actually dipping down here into the Gulf, and there's a phasing of a system from the polar jet and the subtropical jet, we're going to get a big historic East Coast blizzard. And of course, the GFS has one for us. We're talking about snow in Florida potentially on January 10th, maybe a foot of snow in the Carolinas, several feet of snow in New York City, 50 inches of snow in New Jersey. This is 60, 70 mile per hour winds, a shutdown snowstorm that is remembered for decades to come. But is this exactly going to happen? Absolutely not. But it's fun to look at the very pretty model imagery here. Okay, so we're in snow mode now. All right, there's no doubt in my mind that the models are going to change so significantly that we don't get some sort of big snowstorm in the first 10 days of January here. The pattern is set. We've just got to wait until we get closer to the event to know specific details, okay? And by the way, for all you guys in the West, things are just going to be the opposite over there. We're going to get a lot warmer, and we're probably going to be a little bit drier than what we have been, but there's still going to be some atmospheric river events from time to time that impact Oregon and Washington and Northern California, and we'll keep you updated on those as well. And here's what we've done, okay, since the snow is coming. Right now, we're all warm, right? People aren't thinking about snow. So you, the MVPs that make it to the end of the video, you're going to get in on this. We've got 30% off Yolometers. Okay, we've never done this before. 30% off. We want to make sure that whenever we go live for this next big snowstorm, we've got thousands and thousands of people out there sending in snow reports so that we can build this big database of accurate snow reports out there. So please consider getting a Yolometer. It's a really good way to support our channel. We hire people. We have employees here in rural Kentucky, which is a part of America that really needs jobs. So you guys can help us continue to ship these out from here and make these here. And this also helps us do a lot of other things on the channel, like fun storm chasers and stuff stuff like that. So shopryanhall.com, go get yourself one of the best snow measurement devices on earth. They're 30% off. You don't even have to type in a discount code. We'll ship it to you hopefully before the next big snow. Once we get the record cold in here and everybody's thinking about snow and we've got these things on social media, everybody's thinking about them, it's not going to be 30% off anymore. So we're giving you the heads up, okay? We're giving you the early inside baseball look at what's going on over here at shopryanhall.com. There's a link in the top of the description. Additionally, Kinsey is telling me as well that the Tempest is on sale, 10% off, okay? Tempest 10 at checkout. If you want a backyard weather station to track these potentially record cold temperatures, you can stick this in your backyard. Look at your app anytime for real-time updates. shopryanhall.com. Thank you guys for the support. All right, that's all the weather talk I got for you today. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, Happy New Year. I will see you next year. I'm going to try to spend a couple of days resting up and getting ready for this next big active period of weather. Thank you guys for bearing with me, and thanks for just watching these videos even when my voice sounds like this. It'll be better next time. All right, thank you for watching. Goodbye.